in the last year, you're up about 25% trading.
Yeah.
So you're 15.
Yeah, I'm 15 at this time.
So your dad says to you, if you want to trade, get a job.
I went to my my local pizzeria.
How much are they paying you?
They pay me around 11, 12 an hour.
You saved it all.
I tried to save as much as I could. I came to my dad with the bills in my hand, right? I withdrew from the bank. I told him, Dad, I want to put this back into my account. He said, go on right ahead, son.
What's your first trade? Hello, everybody. We're back again. This is going to be a fun episode today. We're going to do a future store. Anthony in the house. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm excited you came up here. You're a Florida boy.
Yep, all the way from Panama City. So very excited to be here in Chicago with y'all.
I'm glad you came in. And we haven't done a future star segment in quite some time. And I love these because there are some kids that I had their first interview when they were 12, 9,
Yeah, pretty young.
15, 16 over the years. And they're all still trading.
Right.
They're all still trading. So the good news is you're doing this at an age when you're probably like one in a tiny handful of kids in your school.
Yeah.
How many kids go to your school?
Probably around like 200 now, maybe 300 because, school's still growing because it's so new.
Oh.
But yeah, so very, very small amount. And even smaller that, have even looked into investing. So
I'm sure. And you're going into 11th grade.
Yes, I am.
Got it.
Junior.
If I was to say, hey, what's your favorite, like what do you excel at?
I'd say I really excel at math.
Math.
I like math, yeah.
And you know that like this is like a Tasty and really for trading, it's just a big math game.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything we do is pure quantitative probabilities.
Right.
That's
pure numbers. That's
pure
why
numbers.
I think I was able to fit in so well with this because it was numbers and I'm used to that.
It's just a crazy numbers game, and it doesn't. In the world of like stocks and futures and any other kind of like asset, let's say, it's very black and white. Like if it goes up, you make money,
Right.
and if it goes down, you lose money.
Yeah.
That's it. In the world of trading, it's completely different. It's all
Right.
strategic, so it is all numbers.
Yeah.
And all the numbers are kind of you can back into probabilities.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like how you can still make money if you're wrong, but you can also lose money if you're right. So you can make money and
That's my line. Use that line like
Yes,
other ties.
yes, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Right, but you can make money in bullish markets, standing markets, and even bearish markets. So it's very
Yeah.
nice.
How long have you been following the stock market?
Probably around a year and a half now, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Are there certain companies you like, or do you care what you trade at this point, or is it just?
well, normally I like to stick to tech and companies that I hear about, like Chipotle, Intel, things like that. So bigger companies, more liquid too, and so yeah.
Just companies that you recognize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you trade any indexes or anything like that?
Sometimes the S&P 500, but no, not too many indexes.
Okay, so you're going into 11th grade. You started trading maybe like halfway through your 9th grade, and then
Yeah.
all the way through 10th grade.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, a friend of your parents got you involved.
Right. Right.
Okay, and he's a trader,
Yes, he is a big time trader.
and he talked you into it.
Yeah, he basically talked me into
What kind of psychopath talks a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old kid into trading?
a very persuasive psychopath.
very
I'll tell you that.
persuasive,
A very persuasive one.
All right, that's good. So very persuasive psychopath talks you into starting to trade when you're 15 years old, which I actually love. And do you remember do you remember going to your dad and saying, like, because you didn't have any money, right?
Right. Yeah, I had no money at the time. I couldn't even get a job.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you're 14, 15.
right.
And you went to your dad and you asked for what?
So I basically, I asked him for some money to get to trading with, and he had told me that if I was able to show that I was actually, willing to commit to this and to do the research, that he would give me some money to start off with.
Because I'm not sure if my 14-year-old son or 15-year-old son who hasn't at that point even learned to hit the toilet, when I would be confident in giving him money. So I got to give your dad some kudos because I'm not sure that I would have done that with my own son.
He was not confident either. In fact, he told me, he was like, son, I know that you're going to lose this money. Because, you know, with any kind of market, only like 5%, I think it is, of traders are actually profitable throughout the year. So
It depends. The statistics vary with, it could be as much as 40%, 45%. It could be as much as 5%. Depends on product, style, everything like that.
that's true.
How much money did you ask for?
Well, I asked for around 3,000 because I saw that was really like the baseline, right? Basically the minimum to get into trading. And so he said, son, I know you're going to lose this money, but I want you to go into this being able to learn from the kinds of strategies you do and to be able to really pick up from this. Because he said the goal for me was to not try and make money, but it was to try and learn really just it was that I was doing, right, in trading. So
You got a good dad. And
Yeah.
he believes in
Yes.
you. Because I'm not sure I would have done that with either of my kids. And they're both pretty successful now. But I don't know if I would have done that. So he gives you 3,000. Now you're like, you're obviously trading in his account, but he gives you a couple thousand trade. He doesn't trade.
right, he does not trade. Really.
Does your mom trade?
My mom doesn't trade either.
Okay.
No.
So you're on your own.
Right.
You got this one friend of your dad.
Right, one mentor that's giving me, decent advice, but nobody in my family
Right.
trades.
Okay. And giving you some decent advice. And you can obviously reach out to him by email or
Right.
call him if you have any questions.
Yeah.
So but you're still pretty much on your own.
Yeah.
What's your first trade?
My first trade, I think, was an iron condor on Meta for their earnings because I dropped in around earnings.
Oh, so you went straight into the heavy
Yes,
stuff.
straight into it.
You do a Meta earnings trade.
Yeah.
And did Meta blow up either way? Was it a crazy?
It did actually blow up. Yeah, so my first trade was
A full loser.
yeah, pretty much full on loser.
Full on loser. Then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was very rough on me,
Okay. Before I get into a lot of the fun stuff, how long did the $3,000 last you?
It lasted probably around, I want to say 6 months, maybe.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it lasted
6
pretty
months.
good amount
And then
of
you
time.
blew up the account.
Yeah, and then I just blew it up.
As you were in the process of blowing it up, you kind of realized that you were blowing it up.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
At some point, you probably like doubled up to catch up.
Yes, I was.
All the classic mistakes.
Yep, exactly. I was panicking. I was like, I need to get out of this. I can't be a fit. I was worried about letting my dad down, even though he had told me he knew I was going to lose all the money.
Now, was he tracking you this whole time?
He would ask me how I was doing. Every week or so.
He didn't actually look at the account.
No, not really. He didn't.
So he's just asking how you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And are you trading all the time?
Yeah, around like once, twice a day, couple more,
Got it.
more or less.
So you're making a lot of trades. You're learning.
Yeah.
But you're not doing very well, and you're
No.
and you realize that you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
At what point, after you kind of blew up, did you let your dad know that you blew up?
It took a lot longer than the day it happened. I'll tell you that. It was probably like maybe a week after because I I was so worried about it.
But you came clean.
Yeah, I did come clean. He did find out eventually, and it wasn't by looking at the account. I told him. So,
when my son was growing up, and he scratched my car, a nice car.
a nice car.
Yeah, and he scratched it like whole side. And
Oh.
came home, I saw my car, and I'm like, and then I didn't see the scratch for a couple of days. And I said, "How'd this happen?" He goes, "I don't know, somebody did it while I was parked." And I'm like, and he totally
Totally negated from himself.
Totally. When he gave the commencement speech to his graduation, and he copped to it in front of everybody. He goes,
Wow.
"Dad, I scratched your
At the
car."
graduation.
So anyway, it took him like 2 years.
Oh wow.
So a week's not bad.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so you tell him, okay, and what does your dad say to you?
he said he wasn't surprised. He knew it was gonna happen. So, but
He probably said cheap lesson.
yeah, it was. He said it was a good lesson that I learned, but that he wouldn't help with funding me anymore because he had looked at the kind of poor decisions that I was making towards the end, with trying to catch up, And because somewhere during that period, he said, if I was able to actually, prove that I could
Proof concept.
yeah, proof concept, that he would try funding me a little bit more, and this was basically proof to him that I wasn't capable of holding on to it. And so I felt super defeated. I was like, darn,
Are you competitive?
yeah, I'm a very competitive person actually. So this was a really sad moment.
You do what kind of sports?
I do jiu-jitsu. So
I don't know a lot about jiu-jitsu, but do you like have?
it's like a physical chess sort of in a way. And
So do you fight other people?
yes. So you spar people, and there's all these different kinds of positions, and I kind of like to think of it as the physical chess, because there are situations in which the opponent is up against you, even though you might have not totally lost. They're up, you have an advantage up on them, and so it's it's a very competitive sport, and it's not really team based.
So you're super competitive.
Yeah.
So now you're mad.
Yeah, I'm very mad. And so
How about your friends? Do they think you're crazy?
my friends think I'm crazy. Yes, they were like, this, we knew this was gonna happen. Like you you like this couldn't. They were basically telling me that this was proof that it was basically just gambling.
Did your dad's buddy offer to back you, to fund you?
Not necessarily, and I didn't want to go to him
Okay,
for backing because
But you still like trading.
yes,
You're
yes,
just
very much
mad
so.
that you weren't
Yeah,
successful.
Right, this was a defeat.
So your dad says to you, if you want to trade, get a job.
Yeah, well, I came to that on my own.
Okay.
But yeah, he had said that the account is still, you can still manage the or not, you can still manage the account, and so I thought to myself, I'm gonna go in January, I'm gonna get a job, right? Because that's when restaurants pick up. And so I went to my local pizzeria.
You're 15.
Yeah, I'm 15 at this time. So I
Do
wasn't.
you work at 15? I guess so, yeah.
You can, but it's a lot more difficult than 16, right? Because you don't have a
Okay.
car that you can really drive to work.
Oh, how far do you live from the pizzeria?
At the time, it's like a golf cart ride, because it's right outside the community I'm at. So it was perfect that they picked me up. So, but yeah, so I drove my golf cart there probably around April of this
By
year.
the way, only in Florida can you drive a golf cart to work, okay? In Chicago, that doesn't
It would not work around here, not in this city.
You can't drive a golf cart. Nobody does that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it was good that we lived in Florida, or we live in Florida.
So you drive a golf cart to the pizzeria.
Pizzeria,
How much they paying you?
they pay me around 11, 12 an hour. So
$11 or $12 an hour. That's a lot of hours you got to work.
whole lot of hours I was working.
You get tips.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, since there's a cap on how much you can work during the school year, it was not fun. It was really tedious.
How much money did you make?
Over the next couple months, I made around 3,000, 3,500 probably.
Or 3,000. You saved it all.
I tried to save as much as I could. So
That's impressive.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I was surprised with myself.
And you put it back into your account.
Yes, I came to my dad with the bills in my hand, right? I withdrew from the bank. I told him, Dad, I want to put this back into my account.
And what did he say?
He said, go on right ahead, son. And so he took the money and he transferred it into my account. So I was back to where I was before.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So now you're back to your $3,000 account.
Yeah.
And now you're trading like smarter.
Yeah, I came in with it. I was in the same spot, but I had a lot more knowledge than I did before. So, I was able to trade a lot more logically than before, and eventually I was able to before I had deposited the next 1,000 in, I was able to make around 1,000 on the 3,000 I had deposited.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, very nice.
So you'd figured something out.
Yeah,
You became more mechanical.
yes, a lot more mechanical.
Now, what kind of strategies? I mean, it's small accounts. You're not doing anything naked, right?
Yeah.
So you're mostly trading what? Verticals, spreads?
Yeah. Iron condors, bull puts, sometimes bear calls, but yeah, mostly debit. So, or credit.
Mostly credit
Yeah,
spreads.
credit
Mostly like you're selling put spreads.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And sometimes you're doing both sides.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes.
And what kind of stocks you using or index? Same thing, tech stocks?
Yeah, primarily tech. Things that had like a lot of volume in it, and that I knew about pretty well. Like Chipotle, Intel, things like that. So pretty well known.
And you're still doing this kind of on your own. I mean, you don't have
Yeah,
your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
None of your friends are sitting by your side.
No, not exactly. After seeing what had happened last year.
Okay.
So
So somehow you got your account up to like $8,000.
yes.
How'd you do that? Did
So-
your dad give you more money?
No, my dad did not give me more money. He promised me he was not going to put anything else in.
So how'd you get the account up to $8,000?
I kept working.
Okay.
Of course.
And you kept putting the money from working.
Yes, I kept putting
Into the account.
as much money as I could into into the account, but in $1,000 increments, so I could still keep track of how much I had made from trading. And so yeah, I basically deposited over time, and now I'm sitting at around 10,000. So
Nice.
plus profits and deposits.
So the cool thing about this story is that in the last year, you're up about 25% trading.
Yeah,
And which is impressive because it's not easy to trade, to get a $3,000 account, even with adding $1,000 every now and then
Right,
that
yeah.
you're making on your own
Yeah.
to to 10,000. That's impressive. You happy with that?
I am pretty happy with how I'm doing. So
Did your dad ever tell you if you get to a certain number, then he'll put more money in?
well, actually, he did tell me that if I had if I ever wanted to, at around maybe 12,000, or if I wanted to, he would put in the same amount that I had in, so I could have even more buying power and more things to be able to do in the account.
How often do you trade now?
Probably at least like 3-4 times a day now. So I've trade daily.
So you're kind of like you're more than a future star. You're kind of a future, trading junkie.
Yeah,
At this
you
point.
can put it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to stop.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever go back.
Because it started when I was in my early 20s, and I've never looked back. I was a little older than you when I first started because I didn't even know about First of all, there was no online.
Yeah,
When-
it was always more niche,
Well, we didn't have an internet.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's once I started, I couldn't stop. So you'll be doing this for the next 50 years. So in some
Hopefully, yeah.
capacity.
Yeah.
What do you think you want to study when you go to college?
I definitely want to study medicine right now. I want to become hopefully an anesthesiologist.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
We have a lot of anesthesiologists who are customers here.
Really?
Doctors have a lot of downtime, and they also love trading. So this year, as you get into 11th grade and stuff, I think there'll be a lot more. I think other kids are going to get interested.
Yeah.
know.
I've definitely been actually it's a bit surprising. Those same kids that it said you have no chance in this.
Now they're going to say, hey, how do we get in?
They've been asking me how to get into it. So it's it's been a fun journey. So
Yeah. By the way, that's what always happens. We've had just to give you some really something to look forward to. One of the kids who I first interviewed as a future star when he was 12 is now running a prop firm in Chicago, and they've been building their own software for 4 years, and now they're running a high frequency prop firm. And it's an amazing operation that they built, and very successful so far. So, and that was, let's see, they got to be 24 now. So that they started 12 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Same kind of story, except he was 12 when he started, and then started managing his dad's money. Another kid that we interviewed when he was super young, went on to become a full-time trader, working for a prop firm. So there's lots of stories, where this stuff wasn't just like a passing, it just wasn't some phase that you go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something where like either they got into the industry, like, you might, as an undergrad, you might study whatever you need to study to go into medicine. And I'm not exactly sure what's required now, but you might take like finance as a minor.
Yeah.
And or math. What we do is really just, some version of calculus.
Yeah.
It's like you can call it whatever you want, but it's all math related. So, and the other thing I think that you're going to notice, and tell me if this is the case so far, like your ability to do two things: take risk and make fast decisions.
Yes.
Do you notice that compared to like your friends?
Yes, I definitely have.
I mean, definitely learn how to take risks.
right. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, probably when you first started, you're like, oh man, you're like nervous about the iron condor or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
you're thinking like, it's just,
It's it's all
Just another trade,
mechanical.
right.
Right. Exactly. So,
and then how fast do you make decisions now?
I'd say I act on decisions I make pretty quick, but also I assess the risk that's involved. I know that there's going to be risk, but
Well, that's the whole thing. You're able to, it's all part of the same process.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the same back of the envelope calculation, but you just do it in your head.
right. Yeah.
Most people can't do that. I mean,
yeah,
it's a
I figured
very
that out.
rare skill for a high school kid to be able to do that. Like most people
Right.
overthink everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I've learned how to kind of cut most of that noise out and just be able to act on it.
Your stories, like, I don't want to say it's typical because it's cool, but it's also something that I wish there was 100 of you, but there's not.
Right, exactly.
But it's a really fun story, and I think you're on your way to something special. So
I really hope so too.
congrats on your success.
Thank you.
Your 25% return.
Yeah.
And just remember, it's just a start.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.